Hello my lovelies, thank you for joining me today. We're going to do an interactive oracle message for you, and I have 4 objects that have very different energies, so I'll show them to you, and whichever ones you feel drawn to, that message hopefully will apply to you. It could be more than one of them, but just take a moment, tune into them and see which one resonates. Here we are with these 4 objects. First we have the angel, and it says believe, the season of hope. The second one is a bell. The third one is a Buddah. And the fourth one, a beautiful crystal. This is labradorite or labradorite. Beautiful peacock colours. So take a moment and see which one you feel really drawn to, and I'll do a spread for each one. Hello, here are the messages for those of you drawn to the angel's energy. And so with the first little card is an angel card, and it says compassion. So you can see one angel hugging another angel, giving them some comfort. But there's quite a difference between sympathy and empathy. And those of us that get caught up in feeling sorry for others is actually helping them to stay in their victim mode. Sympathy is, I join you in your misery. Empathy and compassion are, I see where you're coming from, but not diving into that emotion and supporting the victimhood of someone else, and becoming the rescuer, because been there, done that. Just when you get in that rescuer mode, they try to help everybody else out of their situations, and in a way you're not helping them at all, because as we go through life we learn through ups and downs, life's lessons, that if you're forever diving in there and helping everybody else, they're not learning to help themselves and learn from their own situations around them. So compassion is a higher vibration. It has a different quality to it, and how we can embrace another person, see what they're going through, feel what they're going through, and be able to stand back, offer support, be there for them, but not try to fix them. And for some of us that's a very difficult thing to do, because when you love someone, when you are fond of someone, you don't want to see them falling down and going through a tough time in their lives. But that's how we learn, and that's how we grow. And we need to have a boundary around our own energies and not give all of ourselves away, because you need the energy of yourself to look after you first. The second little card is about self-mastery, and that leads on from the angel of compassion, and how as we go through our lives and learn all of these lessons through the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows, we can lock ourselves away, we can feel stuck in certain situations, we can give so much of our power away to others, we can't find ourselves anymore. And so with the self-mastery, learning when to give, learning when to receive, learning when to hold back. The card of spontaneity says, contained within my wisdom is a perfectly free child who runs with the butterflies and shines with the morning sun. So when was the last time you went and did something spontaneously? Feeling like that child, seeing the beauty of life, tapping into the joy. Because when we're around people who live in gloom and doom, there's very little joy, there's very little sense of spontaneity. Everything seems to be in lockdown. So the energy of this message is for you if you have been feeling locked down in victimhood. It always happens to me. Everybody's rotten to me. It's being able to move out of that, finding compassion for yourself as well, because compassion is a mixture of two words. Com means with, and passion. So that passion for life, that passion for getting off your bum and going out there and doing stuff, and lifting your vibration, lifting your energies up to a sense of running free, like the child, being spontaneous, running with the butterflies, and shine in the morning sun. So I feel for you there's a huge shift in the way that you're approaching life, that how you're seeing life, how you may have hidden yourself away for a while. You may have worn the mask and said to everybody, no, I'm fine, everything's fine. And inside it isn't. There's a reason why you're wearing the mask. It's the fear of being hurt, old wounds coming up again, and now being able to free yourself from that and to rise up above all of that stuff. So here's some cards from Esther and Jerry Hicks to do with the law of attraction and your health. So this is the one that jumped out. So it's a person with five eyes, and all with a very different energy around them. And there's an eye right in the heart, and it says, my every thought is vibrating, and my vibrating thoughts are attracting. So everything you think about has a vibration. So if you think about negative things, gloom and doomy things, you will draw the same to you. And it goes on to say, every thought vibrates, and so focus upon thoughts that make you feel good, which will attract others and others and others and others and others, until your vibrational frequency will rise to the place that your inner being can fully envelop you. And then you will be in the place of well-being, and your physical apparatus will catch up very quickly. This is our absolute promise to you. You may begin to watch for dramatic physical evidence of your recovery, for it is law. The law of attraction. So that also says to me, when you allow others' eyes upon you, and you worry about what other people see or think or their opinion of you, you're not coming from your heart. So this is fear-driven ego, when we live in our fears. But then when you use your inner eyes, you see life in a very different way. So there are 5 different aspects here of seeing your life. How you view things, how you see things. So whatever shows up in your external life is how you are viewing your internal life. So if you switch that around from negative to positive, the eyes upon you will be very different to those that are around you at the moment. I see that also There's little spaceships. Little spaceships. Which are really just another aspect of us. And these are also your other body, so your mental body, your pain body, your emotional body, your physical body, your etheric body, and how they all influence us in a different way. So opening up the heart center, living a heart-centered life, loving every part of you, and not worrying about what anybody else thinks, because that's none of your business, as they say. So these other three cards that have shown up, very interesting, and they all tie in beautifully together. So this is from the Oracle of Avalon, and it's the stag energy. And there he is on top of the mountain with his beautiful antlers, announcing himself to the world. He's in full male mode. And this speaks to me of Uranus in Taurus, because he's a bull, stag, and the bull is Taurus, and Uranus is in Taurus at the moment, well, for the next 7 years. And it is to do with pride and leadership. And then we have a numerology card, which is also pride, number 19. And these two cards talk about the different spectrums of pride. How one is the stubbornness that we can hold on to. I'm always right, everybody else is wrong. Do it my way is the best way. Nobody else does it better than I do. I'm very good at what I do, and you're not very good at what you do. And so, again, that's ego pride. But sometimes when we operate at that end of the spectrum, we're preventing really wonderful things from coming into our lives. It is, pride can actually, negative pride can actually mask deep fears. And it can keep us stuck in a loop, in a pattern of, I have to do it this way, everybody else has always done it this way, my family's always done it this way, or living up to the expectations of your family or your bosses or your loved ones around you. But there's a part inside of you which says, I don't want to do this, I don't want to be what they want me to be. For example, if your family have always been doctors or policemen or someone in the professions, and you're expected to go along with that and turn out as they have, but there's a part of you that wants to be a ballet dancer or wants to go and live on top of a mountain and do your own thing, but family pride has held you back. You don't want to disappoint anybody, and so therefore you haven't embraced your true self, what you came here to do. And so you've been operating at a lower vibrational energy, sorting everybody else out, but ignoring you. So with the stag energy, this is another sense of pride, which is tapping into your life purpose, why you came here. He's on top of the mountain. So this can be Capricorn as well, Capricornian energy. So the goat of Capricorn represents your career, getting to the top, achievement. But my sense of this stag is, it's a spiritual journey. It's getting to the top of that mountain where you greet yourself and you greet your higher self, and those beautiful antlers are antennae. They pick up and transmit divine energies. So if you've been longing to find yourself, to find your feet, to receive and transmit information at a higher level, and this is also about leadership, so it says pride and leadership. Being proud of your heritage, yes, your family, but moving beyond that ego pride to say, I no longer wish to live that sort of life because it isn't truly who I am, it isn't truly me. I have a spirit within me, I have an energy, I have a longing, I have a desire, I have the most incredible creative energies which have been totally squashed up till now, and I now open myself to step into that role that I came here to do. So Uranus being in the sign of Taurus, Taurus is the earth, it's our physical bodies, but Uranus is about revolution. It can be shocking, it can be surprising, it can be coming out however you want to come out in your life, however that applies to you. And on the 24th of January, there's a new moon in the sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus, which is sitting in Taurus. So with a new moon, there's always a new beginning, always new energy. So this can be revelation time. This can be you stepping out and saying, "What? I'm not doing that anymore. This is who I am." You can put on your tutu if you want, and close some doors and see what opens up for you. Let something new come in. Let something show up. Let something appear. Tap into that wonderful part of you. Use those antennae. And the stag is known to bellow when he wants a mate. And he will shout it from the rooftops, from the mountaintops. He will say, "I'm here. This is me. Look at me. I have a purpose. And that is to be the leader. That is to show how strong I am. That is to share my seed." However you see sharing seed. So with a new moon, it's about planting seeds. New moon in Aquarius. It's the first new moon of the year and the decade. It's also Chinese New Year. So you can maybe literally plant some seeds. Find a little packet of seeds and put a few in a little pot with some compost and watch it grow. And that represents you. What you want to give birth to, what you want to achieve, not just this year, but in your lifetime. And this is male energy, which we all have. We're all both male and female energies. So with the stag energy showing up, this is your male energy, which is action. It's movement, it's motivation, it's focus, it's that ability to get off your bum and make those things happen in your life. It's overcoming any fears of rejection or humiliation or ridicule. Doesn't matter what other people say. It's about you being true to you. Yes, it may activate some conflict in your life. Yes, it may cause some upset or some arguments or misunderstandings with those around you. But this is your time to shine. This is your ability to get out and say, "Hey, this is me. This is what I do." It could be that you've written a book, or you've written a play, or written a song, or you've created something that is now time to share with others, because Aquarius energy is the people, it's groups, it's the media, it's not hiding it away anymore or hiding you away anymore. It's coming out and saying, I don't want to be on my own in this anymore. There are like-minded others that I feel drawn to in whatever capacity. It could be gay pride, if that's your bag. But it's finding others with a sense of pride that is not ego-driven, that embraces you, that says, do you know, we've been waiting for you. You are amazing. You really are. You're incredible. You're amazing. And you add so much to our group, to our way of thinking, to our way of being on the planet. What's taken you so long? But you've been working on your innards, on the inside. And now it's like something bursting forth from you, and you can't go back. You can't turn around. You can't retreat anymore. It's time for this wonderful, wonderful part of you to be shown to the world. However or whatever that is. So your final card, wonderful, Eagle. Eagle energy. Eagles fly higher than any other bird and their wings touch the heavens. So this is spirit working with you. This is however you see spirit. It's your soul, it's your higher energies giving you a nudge and saying, come on, you can do it, you can do it. So you've already got to the top of the mountain, okay? And you're calling. And it's calling you. So you're sending out that message. I'm here, I need some help. And that's the answer. That's your higher self. It's your soul tribe. It's your galactic family saying, we're here, we've always been here. We've just been waiting for your call. So it says, connect with spirit, feel the freedom found in oneness, and let your spirit soar. And how would that feel after maybe years and years and years of feeling confined, feeling imprisoned, feeling you're just living for other people rather than yourself, and living a true existence now? Yes, it can be scary. Yes, it can be taking that first step. But what this message is saying for you is believe. The angel says, believe. This is the season of hope. So when you put that message out there, it will be answered. It has to be. And when you put that message out there, don't come from fear or a sense of lack. Oh, I can't do this because I won't get what I want. Let that go. That's the old programming. That's the old you. So you can maybe sit quietly and do a meditation and imagine yourself going up a mountain as the stag and reaching that pinnacle, taking a very deep breath in. When you release that breath, that is what you want humanity to hear. It is your truth. You are speaking your truth. Taurus energy rules the throat. being spoken. And the eagle energy will pick up what that message is, and it will take it to those that need to hear it. So it's like me doing this reading, giving these messages to you. I trust that Spirit will pick up these messages as they have given them to me, and they will reach who needs to hear them and will benefit the most from them. So I'll leave that there. I hope this has helped you and it resonates with you. And if it does, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear how you're getting on. Hello. Here are your oracle messages for those of you drawn to the energy of the bell. So this bell is a Tibetan bell, and it is made of 7 different sorts of metal which have been melded together to give a particular sound. So by using the energy of the bell, which is, as I say, has these 7 metals all blended and melded into each other, when the bell is rung, it affects all of our 7 chakras. So it works in unity with clearing the energies of all of our energy centers in one go. So if you felt drawn to the messages for the bell, here we go. And your little angel card is transformation. So you see the angel with various different colours on it. It's like it's moving through a field of energy where the gold is, walking through a portal, through a doorway that is now available to them. So I feel for those of you chosen the bell energy, you haven't been able to get through something up till now. So if you watch my last couple of videos, I was talking about 2 portals, one on the 20th of January 2020 and one on the 22nd of January 2020, and there'll be another one on the 24th of January, which is the new moon in Aquarius. So it's like suddenly these doors are opening for you and you are transforming. So when we talk about the energy of the bell, it is also air energy, and the air signs, which are Aquarius, Gemini and Libra. And the energy of this new moon in Aquarius is air signs. And Aquarius is ruled by the planet Uranus. So with this new moon, the transformation can be very sudden, because Aquarius brings shocks. It can bring instant transformation. It's revolution. It's changing everything in your life in an instant. So if that's something that you've been longing for or wanted to bring into your life, breaking the chains, because for some of you I can see it's like you had these energetic chains around you, some of which you have inflicted upon yourselves, and on some level these things have been brought up to the surface for you to look at and say, well, why did I carry this around with me for such a long time? It's because you've been working through it, and on some level you're your soul's journey has now brought you to this point where you can say, right, I don't need any of that anymore. I'm able to move through like invisible walls of energy, because I couldn't see it before, but now I can. Suddenly it's shown up and you think, oh, it was there all the time. So for some of us, it can feel like we've not been doing anything because everything's been stuck. But you have been doing something on a very, very, very deep level, and you've had an awful lot of help as well. So the self-mastery card is caring. And it says, seeing with depth and really understanding the connection and responsibility we all have towards each other, as a master, I act with a full and open heart, even if it takes extra time and takes me out of my way. So sometimes when we care for others, we can lose ourselves. We give so much of ourselves away to others. We're giving from an empty pot. And that is something that is changing for you. That is that realization that I cannot have these energetic bonds on me anymore. Yes, I can still care for others. Yes, I can still show compassion and love and see the other person's situation. But when you master this energy of caring, you have to start with you. It's self-care, extreme self-care. And when you look after you first, you have more than enough to share with others. So it's understanding the connection and responsibility we all have towards each other, but it's responsibility for you first. And as a master, because you've mastered the act of caring, I act with a full and open heart, even if it takes extra time and takes me out of my way. And that also says to me that if you need to take extra time, and it does take you out of your way, the universe has a way of bringing things to you that will reward you, make up for that. And our ego cells might think, oh, it's taking me out of my way. But it isn't. No way. It's the way, it's the path, it's the way of getting to where it is you need to be. Because sometimes synchronicities come along and you think, well, if I hadn't gone out of my way, I wouldn't have that experience, I wouldn't have met that person, I wouldn't have learned a certain lesson. So it's all in the divine plan, divine timing. And so here we have a law of attraction card to do with your health. And so we see it's a book, and there's a heart in the book, and there's lots of birdies flying off in different directions with hearts all around them. And it says, by changing my story, I can change my point of attraction. The only reason it may seem like some past negative thinking is having an impact on your life now is because you have been continuing the negative train of thoughts or beliefs through all of those years. A belief is nothing more than a chronic pattern of thought, and you have the ability to begin a new pattern, tell a new story, achieve a different vibration, and change your point of attraction. As you find a better feeling thought, your point of attraction shifts right now. And this brings me to a story, because we all tell stories. I was very fortunate to go to Hawaii and swim with the dolphins. And among the team of people that were there was a girl who came to join us on the boat. And she told her story every single day. And her story was, her father was very famous. He'd invented something, very famous. And she had a brother. When she was 5 years old, they locked her away in her bedroom, and certain things occurred in her life, which I won't go into. And so this girl was a drug addict, an alcoholic, and a victim. And she told this story every single day to every one of us, more than once a day. And it started to put a bit of a dampener on our joyful explorations with the dolphins and the other members of the group. And so I asked her, I said, how often do you tell this story? Oh, every day, she said, to everyone I meet. And I said, well, stop it. And she was deeply offended. And I pointed out the law of attraction, that if you continuously tell your story, you stay in that loop of victimhood. And it also applied to me. So me realizing this about the girl, I thought, oh my goodness, I tell my story as well, don't I? I tell it with a smile on my face, and I make a joke out of things, and it can be very amusing, but it's still a negative story. And when I realized how often I repeated this story about poor me, how that had kept me stuck. And so by changing my story, I can change my point of attraction. So if there's something in your life that you've been stuck with, and then you might have an aha moment and think, oh gosh, yes, I keep reliving that pattern, don't I? I keep playing that old record, don't I? I keep telling people the same thing, don't I? Oh, no wonder my life hasn't changed. No wonder I feel stuck. And so when anybody asks you how you are now, don't tell the story. If anybody asks me how I am, I always say, oh, wonderful, thank you for asking. So that's a very different message I'm putting out there. And when people say, well, how are you? And a lot of people will tell you how they are, and they've got aches and pains and this and that wrong with them. And so I'm very careful now about asking other people, well, how are you? Because they might come back at me and say, tell me exactly how they are. And that can lower everybody's energies and their vibrations. So keep checking. Whenever you interact with anybody, be aware of not telling your story. Tell a happy one, tell a joyful one. That's wonderful, because then you're activating the energy of that. But then just have this little pause button if you feel yourself going into negative mode, playing that old record. The Beatles put out an album many years ago. I can't recall which one it was, but the final song on the record, and it was a record, it was an LP, it was a vinyl, said, sorry Squire, I scratched the record. Sorry Squire, I scratched the record. Sorry Squire, I scratched the record. And it just went over and over and over again. And you thought there was a scratch on the record, but there wasn't. It was just that line kept repeating and repeating and repeating. So that's been plopped into my mind to say to you, sorry Squire, I scratched the record. Don't keep telling the same story. Don't keep playing the same old record. Let's create something new, something wonderful. So we have a little animal card for you, and this is the lynx. So this is one of the big cats, although it's a smaller big cat, and it has a particular energy to it, which is to do with secrets. Be still and silent. Become the one who watches. Honor the secret wisdom you hold. So the energy associated with lynx is about clairvoyance. It's a particular sort of knowingness. It's a particular gift or ability that sometimes you don't share with other people, You you can be among folks, you can be in a crowd, and you just have that ability to see people for who they truly are. You can see who's wearing the masks. You can see those who are all puffed up with pride and arrogance and the underlying fear that they're holding. And this says to me, when we get past that playing the old record or telling the old story, and you step up into this other energy that you've always had, it's always been there, it's looking at how you can work with that energy now in your life. You don't necessarily have to be a platform medium or a psychic reader or anything like that. It's just learning how to use this energy in such a way that it honours you and who you truly are, and it will help you in all sorts of situations around you. So in your career, when you have a deep inner knowing, a clairvoyance, you will know that's a good guy to do a deal with, but that one isn't. So it's a bit like Dragon's Den, you know, being one of those dragons. When somebody comes in front of you and says, oh, I've got a great deal, oh, I've got a really good deal, I've got a really great business idea, or someone says, you know, you're gorgeous, you're lovely, I want to take you out and let's have a lovely time together. Your inner knowing will say, no way, Jose, no way. You're just so full of it. I'm not going down that path. I've been there, I've done that. And then when somebody else comes in, you say, their energy is very different. That feels so different. That feels really nice. It's, I feel attracted to that. Let's look a little more deeply. And you don't even have to say anything, you just know it. And you're tapping into that ability to sift the chaff from the wheat. That's the phrase I'm hearing. So when lots of new things come into your life, and we've got that with this new moon in Aquarius, you might get so busy and think, oh golly, where did all this come from? It's being able to take that step back, not use your emotions, but bring your energy to your heart, where you just have that knowingness. I will walk the path with you, but I will not walk the path with you. The path that you're walking is not the path I'm taking. You might be all bright and shiny and have this glamour about you, but I'm not falling for the glamour. And that's something that we all need to be very aware of with this awakening energy, or the Ascension energies as it's called, is not getting caught up in the glamour, because that's the illusion. So whatever energies you get from these messages, only take what feels absolutely right for you and discard the rest, no matter what I say. Because I got caught up in the glamour from time to time when I was first studying things, thinking that someone was the be-all and end-all and the best thing since sliced bread, as a teacher, as a mentor, as a lover. And being able to say now, oh, I'm going to be more discerning with people in my life, with situations in my life, because I can see you. Like they say in Avatar, I see you. I know you. So out of this lynx energy then comes the bee. Beautiful, beautiful bee energy. And the bee is about being busy, busy, busy bee. It's luck, it's in industriousness, and sweet victory. So if some of you have been in negotiation with others, whether it's in your work, your career, your business. For some of you, it might be that you've got a business idea, but this has been a dream of yours for a long time, and you just haven't found the right people to support you in it. So financially, or technically speaking, or development wise. And you may have been burned in the past where you've given your idea away to other people. So that again is about being discerning, and I will walk that path with you, and I won't walk that path with you, and the dragon's den thing. So if you've been drawn to this messages here, you might like to do a little visualization or meditation where you stand in front of the dragons and you present your ideas to them, and then just, so I'm going back to this. These are the dragons, okay? These can be the 4 dragons, and this is your idea, and it's heartfelt. It's coming from your heart. And see, there's a heart over each of the bodies. So when you present your idea to them or to the world, you must have done your preparation work. You must know your onions. You must know your projections into the future, how much you're going to make and that sort of thing. So you can do this exercise as many times as you like, because each time you do it, the dragons may give you a different constructive criticism. And when I teach in my workshops, we sometimes bring in a council, and they could be a council of 4, a council of 9, people who will sit with us, energetically speaking, and they could be living or passed on, but they all bring in an individual recipe, energy, that really just a part of ourselves. It's our an aspect of us. So you can see these dragons in front of you as aspects of yourself, who will be giving you extremely good feedback on all the different aspects of your ideas, your creative self, what it is you want to present to the world. If it isn't to do with business or career, it can be to do with your love life. So you may have more than one person you're interested in, or they're interested in you. If you are in a committed relationship and things have gone a bit awry, you can do this exercise by seeing the dragons as different aspects of your relationship and asking each one for their advice, for their input, and take from each one what feels right for you and what adjustments you might need to make. Because it's all good advice, it's all coming from the heart, again, heart energy. So with the bee, people tend to fear bees. I don't know why, I absolutely love them. I was stood waiting for the bus one day, and a bee started buzzing around my head, and there was a guy just next to me. Said, "Oh my God, there's a bee! There's a bee!" I said, "Yes, isn't it wonderful? He's come to visit and to bring me a message." And his reaction was, "Oh, you're going to get stung. Oh, it's dangerous. Bat it away." But my reaction was, "No, this bee's come to visit me. It's come to bless me and bring me a message about getting busy and making some money and such like." So, and one of the best ways to deal with bees or wasps or anything that's buzzing around you, if you have a innate fear or anything like that, don't bat them away, because that makes them mad. It's just blow. take a deep breath and just blow them, and they will feel this little waft of wind and take them off in another direction. But when they do show up, I always say, oh, thank you, Bee. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you showing up, because it's always a signal, a sign from the universe to say, Amanda, we've got some business coming your way. Get ready, girl. The number 7 is a 16, which adds up to 7. So 7 is adventure. It's to do with analysis and understanding. So if there's something that you haven't quite gleaned, you haven't quite got clear in your head, the energy around you now will bring it to you. So you will have a aha moment. It's like new moon in Aquarius, genius energy. So if you've got an invention, if you've got an idea, if you've got a dream, plant some seeds on the 24th, new moon in Aquarius. It will really give you that oomph to get things going. And your final card, self-discipline. And 41 adds up to 5. 5 is overcoming that stuckness, discontent, moving through discontent, allowing that discontent to push you forward into a new adventure. And the self-discipline, being able to discipline your physical human self, but also discipline with your higher self, allowing that to come in and really, really guide you. So taking that time, doing those little exercises, asking your higher self, what steps should I take? Should I hang back? Should I be more discerning? Should I let that person in? Should I get rid of that person? What do I need to really allow me to move forward in my life now? So I'll leave that there for you. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the messages, I'd love to hear your comments. Hello. Here are your oracle messages for those of you drawn to the Buddha. The Buddha's energy is offering you peace and tranquility, time for contemplation, and an ability just to be. There is a stillness about him, and there is a light. That needs to be ignited within you. So know that being called to this, the messages from the Buddha here, you will find clarity, peace, and understanding. Labradorite is a stone that is found in North America, in Labrador. It is exquisitely beautiful peacock colours. There's a little old man in there. Can you see him? There's a beautiful face in there. So this is a powerful energy that assists you with balancing your left and right brain. And it's to do with the oceans, but also the cosmos. And there is a constellation called Pavo, P-A-V-O, which is the peacock. So we may find those energies joining us as we go through the messages. So here we are with your messages for the crystal energy of Labradorite. I get the feeling that with those of you who feel drawn to this message, that you are more advanced along the way, shall we say, that you've had some mystical experiences in your lives, that you they say about having your one foot in one world and one foot in the other, and you may have felt like you've had most of you in the other world for quite a long time. So there can have been a sense of detachment, of being alone, loneliness, being misunderstood, having yourself switched on, and an awareness of otherworldly things. And you may have become the hermit, you may have retreated from life for a while, trying to process this awareness, this awakening energy, this knowingness of how things are. But you've come to a point of realization where it's now time to integrate all those things that you've learned, all those things that you've trained in, all those things that you've known, and bring it into your everyday life. So if you've not watched the news, or you've not read newspapers, or you've detached from the outside world for a while, now's the time to gently bring yourself back into it. Not to throw yourself necessarily into everything that's going on the planet, but just to gently, slowly integrate yourself back, bringing with you all of this amazing knowledge, abilities and skills, and finding a way of sharing them for the benefit of others, but mostly for your benefit, because I feel that there's a in all of the information that you've gleaned in these past months, possibly years, it's left an emptiness, maybe an empty nest syndrome, and it's now time to feather your nest again. The peacock feathers. Peacock feathers are, it's a richness, it's a regal, it's monarchy. It's not like, the royal family. I'm not talking about that. This is more to do with your own inner regality, your divinity, your sense of higher awareness. It's not snobbishness, it's not aristocracy, it's not that sort of energy. It's much more to do with bringing heaven to earth. That's what I would say, and moving past any fears, any ungroundedness, any sense of, oh, how will I be received? Because in the past you might not have been received joyfully, and that's about to change. So we have some interesting little cards. The first is an angel card of surrender. Oh, yeah. So there's an angel dude stood on top of the hill with his white flag. We tend to think of surrender as, oh, I've given up, that's it, can't do any more. But surrender is that, yes, that in a way, but surrender is, I hand it over to my higher aspect, to my higher self, because I can't, as a human, I can't deal with it. It's gone way beyond a certain point, and I feel like I don't fit in. So I just remain the hermit. But there's something nudging you now, pushing you now to say, no, you can't do that anymore. That doesn't serve you. It's detrimental to your health, to your soul even. So it's coming out of the cave, coming out of the woodwork. And there's an Eastern goddess by the name of Amaterasu. And I believe the story goes that she was so disheartened by the things that she saw in life, she withdrew into a cave. She was very, very beautiful, and she remained there for a long time. She wouldn't come out. And then one of the gods decided, perhaps we can entice her out of the cave, and they placed a mirror at the entrance of the cave. And she saw herself in the mirror, and she fell in love with herself all over again. And she did emerge from the mirror, from the cave, and then came out and shared her wisdom with others. So you might like to Google Amaterasu, and there is a chant, Amateramisu Uumikami, which basically means bright shining divine star emerging from the darkness that I now embrace as my own light. So you are a light being. You're a being of light. And maybe you've hidden your light for a very long time. And it's now time to bring it out and share it with others. So this self-mastery card says, I am free and easy. As a master, I fly with the wings of wisdom and connectedness, connected with those around me and with my own inner brilliance. Your own inner brilliance, your own inner light needs to be shared now with others. So it's coming out of the cave, out of the closet, out of the spiritual closet, to share your lightness of being with others. And in doing this, it will take you to another level of understanding of yourself, and also where you have been, like the Hermit card. It's not as though nothing has been going on. It's not as though time stopped and left you there. A lot of deep inner work has been going on within you, some of which you are conscious of. And the bit that needs to come to light is going to change your life dramatically. And you're going to meet light-minded others. Because an awful lot of people have been in hermit mode. They have hidden their lights away. They have been processing this light codes, downloads, maybe for years. And it was because humanity wasn't ready to hear it, to see it, to feel it, to touch it, to embrace it, to have it in mainstream. And that's part of your journey, to bring it into the mainstream, to share it with like-minded, light-minded others, and not to fear it anymore. When something has a brilliance, which, like the crystal, some would just see it as a lump of rock, but when the light is shone upon it, it has brilliance to it. It has deep inner chasms of light, and it isn't just green, and it isn't just blue, and it isn't just gold. It's an amalgamation of energies of different the different spectrums of light. And that's what you have within you. So the labradorite balances your left and your right brain. So our left brain is our logical side. It's our practical side. And our right brain is our intuitive side. How we just know stuff. So when we work with the labradorite energies, rather than one being out of balance and the other being more dominant, it's bringing those two things together now. Or am I just being shown the pineal gland, which is the size of a pea, and it's sort of base of the skull in the middle of the brain, and it looks like a little pine cone. That's why it's called pineal gland. And it produces hormones. There's good feeling ones: oxytocin, serotonin, melatonin, those nice feel-good hormones. And around the pineal gland is a liquid. And within that liquid are crystals. Now, parts of our brains haven't been switched on yet. But with the awakening energies, more and more and more and more parts of our brains are waking up. And up until now, we didn't know what the function is. But that's what we're coming to learn about. And I feel that you guys watching this, you'll be able to share with others, well, I know what that bit's about because I've experienced it. So the energy of the crystal of labradorite will be firing the energy of the pineal gland, the crystals around your pineal glands as you're watching this. And I'm seeing the cerebrospinal fluid. So that is a fluid that runs up and down your spine. And it distributes hormones through the body. And as your pineal gland gets more and more activated with these light codes and downloads, you are stepping more into your light body, your light awareness, your lightness, being of lightness. So the animal card, we have snake. And that's very interesting because if you know what a caduceus is, it is the symbol for healing. It is a stave or a rod. And there are two snakes which are entwined around it, and at the top are two wings. So for snake energy to show up, this is a very profound healing that's coming in for you, and a transformation. So the shedding of skin, the releasing of the old, the where you felt restricted, because a snake will shed its skin when it has outgrown that protective layer, and it moves into a new sense of being, sense of wellness, sense of awareness. So that's what you're moving through, or have been moving through. And if you look at the picture there, the snake is guarding some eggs. So she's actually given birth. So how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Haha. So 7 eggs related to the 7 energy centers in our bodies. I also get Easter for you. It's like Easter eggs. So there's, and apart from that, I've got a very strong sense something happening in March in the collective, a really, really big, not quite sure what it is yet, but if I have a revelation, I shall share it with all of you guys. So this could be 7 weeks, 7 months, and again, it's like the 7 years of the Uranus cycle of things, because Uranus is in Taurus at the moment for 7 years. So the snake energy for you is the cerebrospinal fluid, that energy going from the base center all the way up the spine and out through the top of the crown, broadcasting, and then receiving that energy, and it bring it right back down to the base center. So the snake says, if I can read it, transmute all poisons, Shed the skin of the past, honour the changes in progress. So the poisons that we take in can be the harmful words of others. It can be the foods that we ingest, things that don't resonate with our changing vibrations. It can be medications as well. I know for myself, I'm so sensitive to any form of medicine or medication. I can't take anything, nothing at all. I was once injected with a medication, and I nearly went doolally. My head started to twist and wouldn't come back. My eyes rolled and my hands went like claws. And I had to go and have an antidote injected into me. So I know for myself, medicine is poison to me. Any form of medication. And the reason for that is a lot of medicines have a vibration that is lower than my physical vibration. So if I put something into my body that vibrates at a lower level than I do, then it's harmful to me. So use that information as you will with your own self and your own, what you ingest and what you take into your bodies. I also get the sense that because you might have been out of the loop with the what's going on in the real world, when you step back in, it's being very aware of how we have been poisoned by the media. So what is projected out to us, and not taking anything that you might see around you. Fake news, basically. Fake news. What resonates with you, take another look, just in case. And then possibly a third one. So they say, like, measure twice, cut once. So the Oracle of Avalon says, focus. So again, that's the lightness of being. So when a light is shone upon something, it focuses us. So you see there, the symbol in the pathway, it's an arrow upon the path. Now, with this picture, it looks like the pathway is going downwards to a certain degree, but it could actually be going upwards. So it's your perception, your focus, how you see what you're looking at. Look at it twice. So measure twice, cut once. Now the arrow is pointing downwards. And this says to me, this is about Jupiter energy, Sagittarius. And it's time for you to pick up that arrow, put it in your bow or your quiver, and then aim it where you want to head, because it's been sitting there waiting for you. It's been resting, sitting there waiting for you to show up. And it's a directional arrow, so it's going to point you in the right direction. It's not pointing downwards, it's just sitting there in that position, waiting for you to come along and pick it up. Because it's time for an adventure. 55. 55 is the number of adventure. If you keep seeing the number 55 around you, or 5, 55 is the number of adventure. 5 is also discontent, but discontent comes because you can't make up your mind. You can't figure out what to do. But eventually that discontent will push you into taking action. So with focus, focusing yourself, opening yourself up, surrendering to Spirit, and the white flag, it needs something to be written on it. So it's a bit like a signpost. It's a way shower. You are a way shower. You show the way. You are a light worker. You work with light. So write something on that flag that says who you truly are. And then the final card is, it's safe for you to receive. So this is a wintry scene, and we are in winter at the moment. So there's a lovely picnic basket there full of goodies and a little deer. So if you haven't been able to receive, you found it difficult to receive, but you've been a giver all your life, and then the worm turned and you've gone and retreated, emerging from that cave, emerging from that time of healing, licking the wounds, processing, coming to know yourself, it is safe for you to receive. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. You can't give from an empty pot. So it is very safe for you now to receive. Be discerning, but allow yourself to be guided by that light within you. It's like having when you're on that new pathway and you've got your arrow pointing you in the right direction. It can also be like a flashlight, a torch. So when it's dark, you use the light within you to find your way, to find your feet, to find the right footing, the pathway. So we'll leave the message there for you. I do hope you found that of some comfort and some help. Do leave me a comment. I'd love to know how you feel about it. I've so enjoyed doing these readings for you. It's been insightful for me too. And so I'll be very happy if you liked and shared and commented and subscribed. And I shall be putting another video on tomorrow about the new moon in Aquarius. So for the time being, lots and lots of love. Love you all. Bye for now.